charms the man. My colleagues, on whose behalf, I'm going to make a very short statement. The Honorable Francis Ssemujju, the Honorable Joyce Bagala, I joined the politics in 2010. That's when I took a decision to join politics. I had been employed by Wafula Ogutu before I left. I left Mont and left him there. Then with other colleagues we went to start the Observer. So when I joined the politics, Sarah Peru we had met on talk shows, but she was also living in Chireka. So she had a more understanding of the constituency to which I was offering myself. At that time, she was also contesting for Ngora. So in fact, I ended up missing her in the campaign because she kept commuting between Chireka and Ngora. But she also knew more people in the area because city and town life is very difficult. You may not even know the neighbors. In my village, I knew everybody, including newborns. But in Kampala, sometimes I return home, there is a function in the neighborhood where I'm not invited. So she helped me to understand the constituency, initially Chadondo East, and eventually Chira municipality. I have seen many of the people from Chira here. She knew all the borders, she knew all the stages, she knew all the special hires. She was interacting with everybody. In fact, if you go to Chireka, her name is Aunt, not Sarah Pen. So we will, Aunt Sarah, so we will miss her as an area, and my condolences first to the family, to her children. I remember when I was contesting to be an FDC candidate, she brought her children to become FDC leaders because we were raising numbers. There was a girl and a boy, so they became part of the structures. Unfortunately, one of them was away on the time of voting. She had gone to school. So here we struggled together. We may have disagreed one way or the other, which is normal. Yeah, I disagree with everybody at one time. That's how I live. I want to thank her for the contribution she made towards my election as a member of parliament. The country today, including those who publicly profess to be NRM, many of the people are bleeding. I mean, when you see a Speaker of Parliament naming her hospital after wars and wife, it is not that gas, bullets, Sarah did not die any of those. She has died of something else. Sometimes we fear to do what we are supposed to do because of the fear to die. They are shooting, so I'm going to die. If it is not your day, you will not die. If it is your day, you will die. Many of the victims of the Museveni violence are not actually participants in demonstrations against Museveni. They are bystanders. Some of them are even hiding. One time we were in Kasanga to the doctor, started firing tear gas, including in kiosks. I saw an old woman with a daughter falling. So we shouldn't fear. We should overcome fear, because if it is your day to die, you will die. That's the courage I want us to pick as we remember Sarah Peru. I want to thank you very much for listening to me. To God, from God we come, and to whom is our return. Thank you.
forces that believe in change. This reflection I am going to go into about Sarah is something I am hoping that all of us who want change in this country will live to advance. Sarah, very hardworking woman, goes away today uncompromised by the regime. Sarah has gone away not compromised. Sarah believed in this cause with all her heart. I can tell you from the conversations we had, that Sarah there, or myself, I see many of you, we were given offers, we've been given money, we've been invited to big things, but we said for this cause, we will stay firm. So Sarah is not going away when she has left mansions. Sarah is going away when she has left a legacy of integrity in leadership. And for us to change this country, we must have leaders who are values-based, men and women who are ready to walk all the way with integrity. Whether you have food or you do not have, stay the cause, because the change that we want is not going to come cheap. I said in church, people already paid for it with their lives. People are paying for it with their careers. And therefore, they take home as we reflect on Sarah's life. We want to see change. We must pay the price for integrity, honesty, and be the values-based leaders that this country desperately aspires or is desperately looking for. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, for giving me this opportunity. Being here for me is a mixture of emotions. It feels like coming home, but coming home on a Saturday. So you can see where I am. When the youth saw me, they were very excited. They said, Madam SG. But at the same time, I was telling them, thank you for honoring Sarah. So you can see that mixture of feelings that I have. It's many years since I last stepped in this compound. But those are matters for another day. I came over here really so that we together can have a reflection on what Sarah meant to each one of us. I bring to you the apologies of the team and the Alliance for National Transformation. General Muntu, Honorable Wadri, Honorable Winnie Kiza, and the rest of the team are in the field doing what we keep saying we want to do, building structures. They are out there in Bunyangabo. They would, I am very sure, for Sarah, they would have been here this afternoon. So please accept their condolences and accept their love. As you know, and it is obvious to all of us, I had the opportunity to work with Sarah.
But many of the reform agenda people had supported and been disappointed by NRM. And so I wanted to find out from this lady what had motivated her. And I learned that this young lady had a pain on her heart that she wanted to say to Ugandans. So from 2002, I've seen Sarah struggling for a better Uganda. Beginning from the mistreatment she thought was, or she saw being meted on her own people, to how Uganda was being run, and to the reform agenda that we had brought in order to improve or to give a life to what we saw dying in the NRM. Sare Peru made our reform agenda known by her motor mouth, the one I had people talking in the church. And she would got about 5 radio stations in one day. She goes here, she talks in Uganda, she goes there, talks in English, goes to another place, talks in Ateso, and went to very many places and talked about the change that we wanted. But Sarah also had a lot of controversies. Many of the people that became her friends were actually stepped on by her, because she was not someone that you could keep. She would come on you straight. If she thought what you are doing was not okay, or if she thought you had misunderstood her. And my colleagues here know her better. Her best friends now, Woflo Gutru, Ssemujju, Nganda, also others there, you all know her. She would not allow you to step on her view. And she made it known. The courage that made Sarah was metallic. She has died a courageous woman. 22 years ago, and seeing her through the formation of Forum for Democratic Change, the fractures in Forum for Democratic Change, and I met her at the founders meeting in Namugongo. I said, Sarah, you don't look okay. Sarah, you seem, she said, I'm not okay, but there is no way I can let a founders meeting go without my presence. I need my word to be heard. And it was heard. People can pretend that she's a secretary for some constituency. She's not there. Sarah was fighting for change. And if you were not seen to stand for that change, that's why she went and told my friend Amriat and said, no, I don't think you can be a good president for FDC. In his face. She went again and told him, I don't think you can be a good candidate to take a flag of FDC. I thought Honorable Amriat had not heard, but I heard him today actually admitting it in the church. Sarah told him. Sarah would tell anybody. I'm sure the powers that be listen to her sufficiently. We shall only let her down by not knowing or practicing that type of brevity and taking on the dictator the way this woman took her on, so that her children, her grandchildren, her friends can be liberated when some of us are still around. May her soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bakanonda.
Till we liberate this country. Till we meet again. Bye-bye, comrade.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's give High Congress a hand clap. Thank you, the chairperson of Women's League of the FDC. Without wasting any more time, I would wish to welcome the elder, our elder Mzee Bakanonda, who shall actually give us the history of the late in the struggle. Most welcome, sir.
I greet you, members of this.
You can bear me a witness. Sarah has performed that role very well. We thank God for her life and her contributions towards the fight, struggle, the democracy, and the injustices in Uganda. Sarah dedicated her life to fighting for the rights of the common person, putting her country first. We believe in the next address she will continue to fight for injustices. We can assure you, Sarah, as the women of the FDC, that we shall continue to fight for the values and the rights you stood for until Uganda is free. As the FDC Women's League, we thank Dr. Besigye for the support you have rendered to our comrade, Sarah. We cannot take it for granted. May the good Lord reward you on our behalf. Bye-bye, Sarah. Bye-bye, Sarah. Greet for us, Dr. Sulaiman Chibundu. Greet for us, Bwani Kabale. Greet for us, all our comrades that went before the cause of the struggle. Sarah.